And that second game here, Jason, and she said what stands out to her the most about Sydney is her confidence is through the roof.
And Tim Green, Angelica Suffren, RJ Johnson are officials. Quick whistle, the Sky will get the opening possession here. Again, much better on this home floor this season than they have been on the road. Natasha Cloud, fresh off the career-high 35. Tried to find Sydney Taylor in the corner. This will stick with the Sky.
That's a different look. I haven't seen this kind of action from Chicago this season. I like it. I call it an Iverson cut. It's a top cut. And definitely Tasha Cloud trying to get Sydney Taylor in the corner.
They're looking for Sydney early in this matchup. Returned on Tuesday against New York, so they go to Cardoso. Another common theme this season for the Sky, going to Cardoso nice and early.
Well, it's just a tried and true method. When in doubt, just go inside to 6'7".
Kia Stokes, another player who didn't play in the last matchup between these two teams. Cecilia Zandalicini around and out from three that time. And shoot it with the best of them. Outlet feed up to Taylor. If you've been watching the Sky this year, you know Sydney Taylor can leak out and get behind the defense.
Well, Chicago, they want to play fast, Jason.
Natasha Cloud was looking for 30% of Natasha Cloud's assists this season have come to Sydney Taylor. Golden State off-ball movement is so pretty with this group offensively. Gabby Williams rocking to the rim. They'll whip it around. Zandalicini for to shoot. Burton, the Northwestern alum, back in Chicago. Floater. Couldn't quite get the roll. Hauled in by Stevens. And here's that pace for the Sky again. Cloud bursting out of the gates. Vandersloot's three. Jimmy's a track meet.
Chicago's threes are going to come in transition, Jason. That's when they're at their best. That's when they get those nice, clean looks from behind the arc. On the other hand, Golden State, they're going to shoot a lot of threes tonight, but it's going to come in the quarter court.
Looking for Cardoso again. Burton came over to help, and that help resulted in a tough shot.
Well, that help actually resulted in a lot of contact from Burton, but that might happen tonight. Camila Cardoso is going to have to go off of 2 feet and finish through the contact tonight.
Burton got in the paint, worked on that kind of short-range floater in the pregame today.
Both offensive possessions for Golden State. Chicago's been really reactive. You see them in scramble mode.
This Valkyries team rotates the basketball so unselfishly on offense. And the scoring is so spread out diversely through this roster. Been the theme throughout the season. Zandalicini struggled last game against Minnesota. She'll step it back here. Came up short. Looks like Stevens got a piece of that.
That's an excellent matchup because you have length on length. That's why Zandalicini is so effective, because she's tall. She has such a high release.
Vandersloot couldn't finish there. Taylor gets hit with the foul. To your point, Shim, would you like to see Azurá Stevens, who's a versatile defender for Chicago, matching up with a Zandalicini or maybe a Salon when she checks in?
I love that matchup because you have Soda. She actually was able to take advantage of Courtney Williams' size deficit a few possessions.
And to your point, she took advantage of that in the last matchup against Chicago, was cooking on that post fade as Williams glides to the rim. Cloud nearly lost that, flying over towards us.
And that's what Gabby Williams does. Her versatility is a superpower. Other than Tasha Cloud, she forced the turnover for Golden State.
You stayed ready over here, Shim, getting the monitors squared away in your defensive stance.
And was talking
simultaneously. We got to give you all your credit.
I too am a 3-level player.
Zandalicini got her own rebound there. Taylor may have been lucky to avoid a second foul on this possession too. And some contact going out of bounds, and it'll stay on this end. You were ready as soon as they played your favorite national anthem pregame today.
Oh my goodness.
Had the guitar out, Jimi Hendrix style.
You cannot beat a good electric guitar national anthem solo. It's the best.
On a Friday night?
On a Friday night.
On Ion? Here we go. Sydney Taylor gonna leak out off the loose ball and get the lefty finish.
Golden State is one of the best teams in the WNBA at taking care of the ball. Teams just don't score points off of their turnovers because they don't give up too many of those opportunities to other teams.
Very disciplined. Shot clock at 8. Xanda Lassini, did she get hit with the push-off that time? J.C. Sheldon today, especially with no Dejanay Carrington. Vandersloot, as always, calmly working around the Cardoso screens. Stevens showcasing her versatility on the perimeter. Got it back to Vandersloot. She'll whip it out late. That should be a 3 for Sheldon. Came up short. Rebound for Thornton, and then a foul. Cardoso doesn't like it.
That was an incredible rebound by Kayla Thornton. She led this Golden State incredible, especially when you consider she's given up about 6 inches on the taller Cardoso.
Averages 5 rebounds per game, just an elite rebounding guard in this league. Speaking of elite guards, Tiffany Hayes has checked in for the Valkyries, one of the best in the business off the bench. Williams, tough pull-up, good contest by J.C. Sheldon. Now the Sky can get back to their pace. Quick entry for Cardoso, goes right at Stokes.
Camille Cardoso has to know that the double team is going to come every time she catches the ball in the paint. She just saw this from this Golden State defense a couple weeks ago, Jason. So I liked what she did there. That was a really good adjustment on her part. She turned quickly into her shot and then played through the contact.
Going up against Golden State has been an interesting matchup for her in the short tenure, of course, of this franchise. Oftentimes they try to pull her set, trying to get that deep positioning down low. It's going to be very important. Even when the doubles come, you've talked to me throughout the season about bigs not necessarily having to pass out of doubles. A 6-2 start for Chicago. It's that pressure again from Williams out high. I was looking for Sheldon, nearly lost it, got it back. Stevens will hoist, well off the mark.
So Chicago was rushed that entire offensive possession, and it started with the backcourt defense of Golden State.
On this end of the floor, it's a slow start for Golden State. 1 of 8 from the field, 3-minute scoring drop, but that comes to an end off the Hayes bucket.
I remember Tip Hayes played really well against Chicago in their last matchup. 22 points in 17 minutes well.
Came in and changed the game. Sheldon with 8 to shoot here for the Sky. She'll get it back on the return feed. Pretty pass, pretty shot for a 3.
Chicago looked like Golden State in that offensive possession, Jason. They did a really good job of penetrating kick, or I like to call it punch and kick. So punch the defense and then kick out to open shooters.
Natasha Cloud picked up her 1900th career assist last week on a pass to J.C. Sheldon. Good contest at the rim again there, and a 9-4 start for the Sky. In large part due to the pace that Cloud is pushing with. Long 2 this time for Sheldon. Looking confident early, but that one didn't go. Sky had a strong start against New York on Tuesday. 14 assists on their first 20 made field goals against the Liberty. Another strong start today against one of the league's top teams. Williams, top 3 off the iron. This Golden State team takes the highest percentage of 3s in the league, making around 10 per game. Subs at the scores table for them. Cloud, that's what she was doing on Tuesday.
Chicago is doing off defensively to Golden State what they did to New York Liberty.
There it is again. Looks like that's going back to the Sky. For Shimmy, she's on cloud 9 right now. The top point for the Valkyries throughout the season. One thing they do have, amongst many good things, is the trust that they're never going to fall apart. Natasha Cloud, spot up 3, had a lot of time to drain that.
So to your earlier point, Jason, you don't always have to pass out of a double team if you're a big. But when you do pass out of a double team, you better find the shooter like Camille Cardoso just did.
Cloud 2 of 2 from 3-point range now. Tip Hayes couldn't knock down that layup. Wanted to foul. Instead, the Sky go back to work. Off to a great start. Cardoso adds on to that great start. One of their best starts of the season, coming against one of the best teams in the league. 17-4 the start for Chicago.
The game plan from Tyler Marsh is obvious to me tonight. They are trying to play as fast as they can. They're trying to score before Golden State can get their quarter-court defense set up. And they're playing inside out.
Valkyries off to just a 2 of 13 start, 0 of 4 from three-point range. 9 points way back on May 13th in the second quarter against the Sky is the Valkyries season low in a quarter this season. Those were two different teams back then, but on the verge of possibly replicating that result, which isn't how Golden State wanted to start on the road today after the loss to Minnesota a couple of nights ago, in which they also got off to a slow start. Janelle Salan averaging 13 a game off the bench, couldn't hit that. Charles the O board though. Now the spin from Amir in the lane, pirouettes and finishes through contacts. Needed that.
And then time up those shots. But when you get her off the move like that with that counter move, that nice spin, that's hard for a post player to defend.
See those bench points for Golden State on your screen as they now try to set up a trap in the backcourt. A lot of that coming in part of Tiffany Hayes and Janelle Salan, who have been fantastic this year. Tried to slice through the defense that time to find Koulibaly, instead picked off by Charles. Best defensive team in the league throughout the course of the season, the Valkyries. Burton, a key part of that, gets the rim offensively, and back-to-back and ones for Golden State. This is that mentality, they never go away.
That's exactly right, Jason. This is exactly what Chicago wanted to avoid, because the free throws allow people to turn that defensive possession into points on the other end.
Averaging 17 per game off turnovers, 7.8 steals per game. Valkyries on a 6-0 run now after it was an 11-0 run for the Sky. Great backcourt right now for the Valkyries with Burton and Hayes. There's another deflection, another steal. Averaging just under 8 per game. Salan, pull up on the mid-range, got it. So making an 8-0 Valkyries run after the Sky went on an 11-0 run. The quick counter from Gold. Under the final minute of this opening quarter now. Azure Stevens really improved on Tuesday against the Liberty. Finds Sheldon, came up short on the three. Now Burton and the Valkyries looking to continue their run. It's 8-0 over the last just under a minute. Gliding the rim that time was Charles. It's going to stay here on this end.
The last time these two teams played one another, Chicago started off the first quarter with an absolute bang. The second quarter, Natalie Nakase made some adjustments. One of the adjustments was the zone that we're seeing right now. It really slowed down Chicago's movement. Chicago's a team that they want to try to move you all around on the offensive end.
5 to shoot for Burton, can create off the dribble, also finds her teammates so well. Hayes had to re-corral that, looks up, sees 2 seconds to shoot. Gonna be a shot clock violation. So starting to replicate the film of last week a little bit.
A little bit. And remember, the first time, I'm going to take you all the way back to May, but the first time these two teams played one another, it was Chicago's defense that won the game. Chicago held Golden State to about 29% from the field and 27% from behind the arc. The lowest so far for Golden State in the entire season.
Jaquez going to take the final shot of the quarter. Off the iron, and a 5-point game after one.